Can you imagine, how the world probably changed since we have Facebook?
Or if it was published in some newspaper.
You wake up in the morning, you check your numbers, you figure out you are one of the big prize winners, the jackpot winner, 100 million dirhams you are winning.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Millionaire Podcast. With me, I have someone very special. He's one of 3 lotto game designers in the world, and he is here with us to share insights about Millionaire and the green initiative behind it, Oasis Park. Mr. Ravsi Martin.
Thank you, Maradona. It's amazing to be here again.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, I saw you. I just saw you recently on the show.
Oh, yes, of course, Thursday.
So it's always fun. I watch it obviously, and I hope a lot of our listeners in our podcast.
Yes, also tune in on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Gulf Standard Time.
Yeah, and you see Maradona and the show, the live show, which is really important. Actually, it's so you see your numbers coming up, hopefully instantly.
Yeah. So are you ready for the question for today?
I am.
So we've been asked, what is the impact of social media on lottery winners?
Can you imagine, how the world probably changed since we have Facebook? Because before, lotteries winners were not known at all because, there was no social media, right?
Or if it was published in some newspaper.
Maybe in your street or, newspaper maybe. Yeah. But it did, I think, with social media, it's totally different now. And we in Millionaire, we try to, always to tell the people, be careful what you do when it comes to social media after being a winner. And you just, you can imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and you check your numbers, you figure out you are one of the big prize winners, the grand prize winner, the jackpot winner, even maybe double your jackpot, so it's more than 100 million dirhams you are winning. And then by night, your face is all over social media, you get fake calls, you get all these people standing in front of your house, you're getting all these threats from other people, all the beggars from family, friends, and people that pretend to be your friends, and all this kind of stuff. So this can be just overwhelming, I would say.
Can't imagine.
And you are famous too. So I've seen you on some billboards already. So you probably can imagine that people talk to you on the street even.
Yeah, I'm prepared for it, but not being prepared and suddenly being the winner and the impact that social media has, it is definitely overwhelming for a lotto winner.
Yeah, I think it's, of how can you be prepared being a millionaire in basically a minute, right? But this is really important, and there are a lot of stories out there where people went public, and there was one girl. She was one of the youngest lottery winners in the UK, 17 years old. And of course, it's fun if you get all these interviews and people are running, and greet you on the street. But also this girl reported after basically she spent all her money on beauty surgeries and stuff like that, treatments and things. So, but she said that after this hype, there was a big loneliness, let's say. So these people you have this fame, right? And we all say it's amazing if you are a famous person for me. But it's just like big actors, sometimes when they don't have the big roles anymore, they are falling into a hole and they have a breakdown and I don't know, depressions and stuff like that. Even so they shouldn't. It's not the financial issue anymore, right?
Yeah.
But then they start missing this fame.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get addicted to this.
Yeah. And do all lotto games give out the names of winners? do people or do participants have an option to opt out of not being to maintain their privacy?
That's something I would say in some countries, especially in the Middle East. I mean, it's really common that you announce the winners and you put the face. That you announce the winners and you put the face on social media. Some lotteries even like force you to do it. They say like you don't get the winning if you cannot use your whatever details. I believe this is really wrong. Our Millionaire has a different responsibility when it comes to this. I mean, we are saying like if you want to be in like being famous or whatever, or having these interviews and all this kind of stuff, we will help you to go through this in a very professional way, not just throw you basically out on the street and then let's see how you survive. So yeah, and I believe all the really serious lotteries do not do this. We as a lottery company, we shouldn't do it in the first place, but obviously the people want to do it on their own, and of course you cannot block them. That's their own will. But again, I personally recommend that you keep it for yourself. Upgrade your life maybe a little bit. So I don't know, but I mean the question is, what would you do?
Oh, I think I would like to maintain my privacy a little bit, not go too overboard, continue to live the same life that I have, and yeah.
On the other hand, I mean, you could use maybe this fame for telling people about what you did or what you changed in your life. So it can be like if you work reasonable and if you're doing this in a very proper way, maybe you can inspire even people, telling them you started your own business, for example, and how difficult it was and how successful you are now, or what are the problems. You can also say what kind of impact you had, in doing some social work, for example, helping your families, bringing your kids to nice universities, let's say. And also you can talk about being a brand ambassador for the Oasis Park. I mean, our green initiative, for example. So I believe there are also positive ways how to use it. Or you become, just coming in my mind, or you become like an influencer. Now you can show the nice life, but I mean, again, people should be aware that when you start this, there's no way back.
Yeah.
If your face is out there, it's out there. And I've even heard of people that changed the names, after they figured out that everybody is just calling them and wanting the money, let's say. There is an example of another guy. He won the Powerball in the US, and this gentleman, I mean, did all the same thing, like going to the interviews on TV shows and all this kind of stuff, being on social media. And he also lost his money eventually at the end, but in between, he had some bad advice in investing money. Okay, so it's not, but before, he was facing these threats, from people, even his neighbors, I believe. Then he had a few, not just 2 or 3. He had numerous robberies at home, because now people knew, oh, he has the money, he's a rich guy, that. I guess people thought he has the cash at home. Obviously, he didn't. But I mean, it is some kind of dangerous. So whenever, my advice would be if you're not strong enough, if you're not prepared, if you don't get the right advice, keep it for yourself. And so you have you have really, a decent, nice life with all your millions you're having now. And don't be too loud and tell people. I mean, there are greedy people out there. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody probably knows someone who, ask them for money already from your friends or whatever. And how often do you get your money back? Seriously, I mean, I think like if you have the money to give it away, fine. Don't ask to get it back, because I mean then the person has to change because he doesn't want to see you anymore, and you have always a bad mood when you see him. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a very difficult thing, but yes, I mean, it has an impact. I mean, social media is a dangerous thing in nowadays when it comes to this, I believe.
Yeah, or it could also be used to its advantage of getting yourself out there, standing for a cause, maybe after winning the lottery, declaring it to friends and family, maybe on social media itself, that, hey, listen, here's where I've invested my money. Please do not come forward to, there are people that are in need of this much more than a certain section, or you stand for a good cause. And I mean, there's so much more that you can do, but yeah, I think it just really, there is a huge impact, no doubt, of social media on lotto winners. And maybe if you could use it the other way.
I mean, it's a question for our audience. Would you go public, or would you rather stay silent?
Yeah, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, to find out like what you would do and how you manage this fame actually. And as I said before, I mean, your brain is not used to this sudden wealth you have, and therefore the fame you have.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, most of the time they go into it like an actor, right? I mean, he starts with little roles and become more and more famous. So I mean, he has time to adjust. But being a lottery winner, you basically don't have time. You have it. It's overnight. So obviously you have to buy a ticket. It's interesting thinking about it.
Yeah.
And for me, for example, my first thought would be like, I want to tell everybody.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds good. Hey, come on, if you tell your friends, I mean, hey, I won the lottery. But then on the second thought, maybe I don't. Maybe I just keep it for me. And if somebody says like, you changed your car, I say like, well, it's used, maybe,
So imagine yourself waking up one day and you suddenly check your phone and you have received a big amount of money. What would you do with it? Let us know.
Yeah. So the social media brings, again, opportunities. So like saying, because if you are famous, if you are out there, you can make money by giving interviews, of course. You can make money by being on shows. You can make money by being a speaker on some certain events, maybe. So you can really change your life into, also your business life, in using these social media possibilities you have.
Yeah.
But there is like always where you have a lot of light, you have a lot of shadow, I would say, like, like sun and shadow is always coming along. So that's where it's everybody's personal decision. And, but if you want to protect you and your family, and then my recommendation would be like, keep it little bit quiet.
Keep it a little bit quiet. Great. Perfect. Thank you so much for all your insights on this beautiful topic. Well, join us again next week for another episode of the Oh Millionaire Podcast. Till then,
you can't win if you don't play.